Covering the economy now, Rhode Island is seeing an increased demand for new home listings. RE/MAX of New England is encouraging potential sellers to list their homes now instead of waiting for the spring to arrive. Karl Martone from RE/MAX Properties joining us now with more. Good morning to you, Karl. Welcome back.
Good morning, Patrick. How are you today?
Great, thanks. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Let's talk about the reasoning behind this not waiting until the spring and doing it now.
Well, there's a mentality out there that let's wait till the spring for the flowers to bloom. But we have an inventory issue. We have a lot of buyers and not as much inventory. This is the exact opposite conversation we've probably had in the past.
Sure, yeah. Now, what do you think the reasoning is for people not wanting to do it now? Is it just history tells them, you know what, I've always waited until the spring? And how do you get people to, pull the trigger to do this now?
Well, if they're interested in selling a little faster than normal, jump on the market before the spring market hits because you have less competition if you go now. It's a mentality. People wait. They don't want snow on the ground. But I can tell you this. A serious buyer doesn't care if there's snow on the ground. So if you're thinking about listing, I would say call a RE/MAX agent as soon as possible and list your property.
Are people afraid that if there's snow on the ground, they're not going to get as much for their home? They think it's going to be worth less?
I think they think there's less activity.
Right.
But that's not the case right now.
Okay. Compare this year to last year at this time. Now, I know you talked about inventory, but as far as the market as a whole, is it more promising right now for real estate?
It is, and I've used this term so many times, normal. Our median price has creeped up. We're only 1.9% down year over year. Again, if we had this conversation a few years ago, that was double digit. Our inventory is low, so that makes it a great time for a seller to maybe get a little more money. You're not going to get a ton more money, but you're going to get a little more money, and you're going to sell a little faster, which I think is the big key, especially if you want to step up, because if you're going to buy another new home, you really need to get yours sold first.
And as far as folks that want to sell their home and they're worried about the winter and the snow and the aesthetics of it, what other things would you suggest to people that are thinking about putting their house on the market right now as far as, do I spend a lot of money to fix it up? Do I sell it as is? I'm sure you run into that conversation a lot.
It really depends on the magnitude. If it's a new kitchen, new bathroom, sell it as is. Don't invest the money because the house isn't appreciating at a rapid pace. You won't get your investment back. However, cleaning up your house, painting the trim, de-junking, as I say, I use that word, I think you'll get into Webster someday,
right.
and get there, because you really need to clear out the house and make it more spacious.
What was the word again?
De-junk.
Okay. It's yours, Karl. You own it.
I own it.
Thanks so much for coming in this morning.
Great
Appreciate
to see you
it.
again.
Both of us just can't wait for the snow to melt so we can get back out on the golf course,
That's for sure.
And sell some homes.
Mastering shoveling these days.
All right. Thank you, Karl. You want to know more about the current housing market? Just head to our website, foxprovidence.com, or just call Karl Martone. More coverage you can count